You guys like my Cartoon Network shirt? I am especially a big fan of Foster's Home. I feel like in a lot of this era of cartoons, the parental figures were idiots. Fairly Odd Parents, idiots. Dexter's Lab, idiots. Courage, idiots.
Stop, you idiot! Stop!
Hey, what'd you think of that intro? I really like it, and it was made by my friend Jeren. You can find him on Instagram at madebyjeren, Jeren, and he is so talented. I'm so pleased with the work that he did for me. He's got the cutest illustrations over on his Instagram, so be sure to give him a follow, check him out. I just wanted to give him a quick shout out for the great work that he did. So, back to the video. When did I upload a video last? Holy smokes. Okay, I have been gone for a little while. I normally try to upload on Thursdays. That just didn't happen. This last week and a half, I've been to Colorado, been working in my room, working in the building, and I bought a car. So it is Saturday and we go back to school on Wednesday. We have 3 PD days and then students come back to school on Monday. I've been trying to prep things for what we call open house. I'm going to do next week a classroom tour and kind of a meet the teacher all in the same foul swoop. Make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss that. This video is going to be all about kind of how I stay organized whenever I'm getting ready for back to school. This is helpful especially if you're a new teacher. There's so many things that are going through your head. You're like, I don't even know how to keep track of all of this. I'm not naturally an organized person. I have found this to be helpful, but this is going to be my 5th year teaching and it's taken me a while to figure it out for myself. That's what I'm going to show you now. So let's hop into it. Hey guys, this is how I keep everything organized during back to school. This is one whole Google Sheets document. I've got several tabs down here at the bottom that kind of help me to organize all of the different things going on. When I think about back to school, what are the things that come to mind? So I just sat down one day this summer and I dumped out all of these ideas and then I went back and refined them based on what I actually wanted to use. And the great thing about Google or any kind of web-based program these days is that you can link items. So for example, if I know I want to make a new specials poster or I need to update my specials poster, that's something that happens every year. That's going to stay on this list from year to year. It's great because I can link it here and then always have access to it later on. I can also treat this as a home base and anything that I know I need for back to school, I can find it in this Google Sheet. As I scroll down, you can see that I've also got these columns here. One for made, as in like I've created the product or it's already made. I don't have to do anything with it. I check that off if it's ready to go to be printed. And then I answer yes or no if it needs printed, whether it needs printed in color, and then a final checkbox for complete. There are a lot of different ways you can do this system here off to the side with the checkboxes and the data validation boxes that I've done here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. A quick tip here. If you want to create drop-down boxes for these cells, all you have to do is highlight where you want them. Let me click one of them. Go to Data in the toolbar above, and then go down to Data Validation. If you put in the cell range or the cells that you would like, you can click this button and select what you want. You can click the criteria here and then list of items will get you the ability to put in the things that you want in your drop-down box. And then you can just enter it separated by a comma, show the drop-down list in a cell, and then if you want to, you can select these. But you save it, it's good to go. If you decide you don't want it, then hit remove validation while it's selected. So this is just typical basic, what do I got to do to get ready for school? Then I have another tab down at the bottom that I've created. This is another sheet specifically for roster items. Now, I don't get my roster until really close to school starting. This is why this list is really helpful for me to just have ready to go because there's not a lot of time between me getting my roster and then students showing up at my door. So having all of these things laid out is really helpful. And I just got a simple checkbox for complete. If you don't know how to enter a checkbox, highlight the cells that you want to put it in, go over to insert, click checkbox. I have the next tab, which is organization prep. This is specifically thinking through what do students need in their desks? What do I need in order to teach them using the stuff that's in their desks? So student organization prep, they have their name tags, and then all of the school supplies from the school supply list. What am I doing with that? So this is kind of where I can plan that out. I have what to do with their folders, what to do with their notebooks, and so on. This is not updated, so there are some things on this list that I'm not for sure doing. I need to go through and update some of this stuff because time is moving too fast for me to check off all these boxes. This is kind of what this looks like. In teacher organization prep, think at your teaching station. For example, if you're making an interactive notebook with kids, then you also want to have an interactive notebook for your teaching station that you can use to model all of the things that they're going to need to do with their notebook. And then you have the beast that is open house. I've got a tab for this as well. It doesn't look beastly here, but it has felt very beastly. And so I have a list of things that I need to remember. This isn't an exhaustive list. I haven't went through in a while and done all of this. I do at least have a place that I can keep everything when it comes to mind. Another pro tip is that if you click on the cell that you want to link something to, say you want a quick link to that actual product or that actual document, you can click on the cell and then hit, if you're a Mac user, Command K, and it'll bring up a place where you can enter in the document from your Google Drive, or you can enter in an outside website and then hit OK, and it'll link it there. Just like these take-home folders that I have. This is a TPT product that I got a long time ago. If I click here, it'll show this resource here that was in my Google Drive. I also have a place for created and then a place for printed and complete. And then this is kind of something that is also helpful for me. I am still in the process of using it and refining it and tweaking it. Because we start school on a Monday now, I have a full week to plan for, and it's a little bit overwhelming at first because normally when I would start on a Wednesday or a Thursday, it was a couple of days where it was like, I can just jam pack this with all of the community building and all this stuff, and then we can start easing into curriculum on Monday. And having a full week and trying to make that transition is a little more difficult in the middle of a week where you don't have that weekend to kind of separate and shift mindset. That makes it even more important for me to know exactly what I'm doing that first full week. And I'm not going to have the weekend after 2 days of school or 3 days of school to help me regather and to think and plan. So I need to make sure that these first 5 days are planned so that I can just crash on the weekend and not really have to worry about it as much. These lists are also just kind of a dumping ground for ideas that I have for back to school. So what am I going to do on day 1 through 5? For example, I'm talking about behavior. I'm going through a classroom tour with them. I'm talking about the classroom library. We're getting to know each other. And so what are the specific things that I have to do? I just put them here and then I list the materials to the side. I put this column here for time, but I'm not going to use it because I have a different lesson planner that I actually make all my plans in. So this is kind of just a helpful playground for me to kind of do like Tetris and figure out how things work, and I can easily move things around. So if I decide, I don't really want to do that everyday math pretest on Monday, I'm just going to Command X and pick it up, and I'm just going to bring it over to day 2. And then it's just kind of a vision board for the first week. It's not my actual planner. I have days 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, obviously there's not a lot here. There's a lot going on in the school day, but I just have to create more events and move them around and, again, play that Tetris game that we all love. So that's kind of how I do my back to school thinking and how I kind of keep my brain from like spinning out of control. So I said vision board earlier. This is a place for me to just kind of dump all of my ideas. And then these look like to-do lists, but actually it's not really. Like there's a lot of check boxes, but when I'm just looking through day to day, like this list is overwhelming. So when I go into my classroom, I'm like, what do I do next? And I bring up this whole Google sheet. I'm like, yo, I don't even know where to start. So that's where Google Tasks comes in handy, and that helps me plan each and every day. So I sit down one day and I think, okay, what am I going to get done today? And over here on the sidebar on tasks, if you click on it, see if I can move my face over here. If you click on Google Tasks on the sidebar, then you're able to see all of your different lists. So I have one for home, for shopping, classroom, and then as I'm creating these categories, I'm trying to organize them in verbs. So I think, what do I need to do? So I need to print this. I need to create it. I need to cut, laminate, and even ask and deliver. So there are things I need to remember to ask about back to school. And then there's things I need to make sure like I give it back to my secretary because that's a really important form. I put that under deliver. So this is kind of what it looks like. If you need to create a new list, there's an option down here at the bottom. And what's great too is that we've got that system that we have to go through a lot as teachers where we create something and we have to cut it out, or we have to create something, we have to cut and laminate. Or if I go to my create section in this list, let's see, say IXL checklists. If I wanted to laminate them, I create them and then I can easily click the little kebab menu on the side and move them down to cut when it's time to cut. Maybe I pack up that day, I created them, I call it a day. The next day I come in, I go, I want to cut some stuff out. Well, my IXL checklists are now in the cut list. So if I cut them out, then I'm going to move them to laminate. So then I come back another day and then I can just laminate them. So obviously, if you want to do it all in one day, that's fine. You can just hit check and done once you get it all done, but you also have the option of moving it around too, in case you're coming back and finishing your work at another time. Google Tasks is really great. I love the Google Suite because also their mobile apps are so easy to use. I am so scatterbrained a lot of the time that having access to all of this is so helpful for me. Having it all in one place is so helpful for my brain. And then also having Google Tasks off to the side so that I can pinpoint, okay, I've got 2 hours, what am I going to do? And then I can just look at it that way. The Google Sheet is something big that I can pull from, and Google Tasks help me to funnel in and to actually come up with a game plan. All right, and thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it so helpful. I am just trying to wrap my brain around the fact that I'm starting school in less than a week. If you made it this far, don't forget to hit subscribe.
Just do it!
So that you can see new videos, especially as I go throughout the school year. I'm going to be talking about all the things that come up whenever you're teaching, kind of my journey, because I definitely don't have all the answers. But there are some things that I do that I find work for me, and people are always looking for ideas. Don't forget to comment. I love engaging in the comment section. All it is a conversation between me and you. If you have suggestions or anything really to share, don't be afraid to do that, and I will most likely respond because I think it's cool they're commenting on my video. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll catch you in the next video, and have a great back to school season.